On today's show, Kyrie Irving is reportedly ahead of schedule, but the Mavericks should let him stay out as long as he wants. Today's Locked On Mavs.
This is Cooper Flagg, and you're listening to Locked On Mavs.
I think that's a good question.
Good morning, Isaac. All these changes, I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
Locked On Mavs, your daily Dallas Mavericks podcast. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network.
Still can't leave.
Your team every day.
I'm going to get a city like that.
And welcome. You're locked on to the Dallas Mavericks, your team every day. My name is Nick Angstadt, media member covering the Mavs for 10 years. Thanks for being every day or making Locked On Mavs your first listen every day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Download the FanDuel app, and you can go check out how you can get $300 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. Joining me, as always, the postgame prodigy from the Great Slightly Biased YouTube channel. What'd you see from the Dallas Mavericks tonight, Slightly Biased?
Yeah, I thought, nice bounce back, get right game. I like some of the coverage from Daron Bland tonight. Obviously, good to get Pickens and CD going after the the Mavericks.
Dallas, not Arlington, the Dallas.
They played.
Today's episode, we will touch on the Mavs game against the Wolves. It was an absolute blowout. We'll tell you why it was. I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell and his play because it was not good. We'll talk about Moussa Cisse and his play. He got the start. And does his play make you feel better about a potential Gafford trade? I want to talk about that. But let's start here. Mark Spears on ESPN had this report today, and he said, Mavs fans are kind of looking for any kind of optimism, at all. And I've got something. He's like, I got this report. He said, Kyrie's looking good. He's ahead of schedule. He's working out with the purpose of playing this season. I think optimistic-wise, late January All-Star break, which is what we've been saying the whole time. Someone close to me told me if it was the playoffs, he could play right now. That's how ahead of schedule he is. But I hear he wants to be back. And so my first thought on this is, well, the Mavs season, like they're already in a really tough spot already. For him to come back and fight back, how much will Kyrie change the Mavericks' 30th offense? Probably a lot. But how much do you want to put on him to make them not the 30th offense, but not the 25th offense, but like a playoff level offense? That's the question you have to answer, is like, how much of a burden do you want to put on Kyrie Irving? And so I think let Kyrie sit out as long as he needs to, because the Mavs don't need Kyrie for this season. The Mavs need Kyrie for next season if they're going to try and compete next season, because the Mavs can't tank next season. They cannot just trot out there and say, all right, let's sell off all these parts. We'll sell off Anthony Davis and Kyrie and Klay and all, and Gafford and everybody. Let's like sell Naji and sell everybody off and just be awful next season too. Like, you cannot sell the entire farm to be bad this year and then also be bad next year, because you only have your pick top 2 protected, and that is what, like a 27% chance if you're if you're the bottom 3 teams, a 27% chance. And so I say let Kyrie get as healthy as possible. Don't rush him back in any way, shape, or form, and then let him ease back into the end of the season, because it would be good to see Kyrie. It would be good to get him some reps with Cooper Flagg on the floor and some of these guys. But hey, Kyrie, just hang out, man. Get right. Get 100% right.
Yeah, I mean, this is it depends on when he's cleared, because I'm assuming the way with how careful Dumont is reportedly being with Anthony Davis and all this, I can't imagine he's not also the same exact way with Kyrie. So if it does reach a point where it's like, hey, he's clear and he's ready to go on December 12th, I'm just throwing a random day out there, December 12th, let's say, that's so early in the season that I'm not sure you could realistically be like, hey, just don't come back at all. But if it's like around the All-Star break and we've talked about this, like, I do watch these games, and obviously tonight's just a different story. But
you watch this one? Did you
no,
watch?
not this one.
You watch all of it?
I did not watch all this game. No way in hell did I watch all this game. And I don't.
Do you think Cooper Flagg's mom watched all this game?
Maybe. She's probably like me. And once I saw a pair of New Balances walking on the bottom of the screen on the bench, I was like, is that Coop? Oh, he's checked out? All right. No, like we talked about it on here. Yeah, they're in all these clutch games, and then in your brain, you could be like, if they had their closer, one of the best fourth quarter players in the league out there, then yeah, like this team could look way different, and maybe that's worth trying out. But if you're at the trade deadline or the All-Star break and you're 20 games under 500, I don't know how worth it is. But then the other problem becomes, if Kyrie is just like, I don't care, I want to play this year, then that's when you start to get into a dilemma where it's like, do we want to like really make him mad? Is that something we're interested in? Is like, would we rather tank these games and now we go into the season with this drama with the Nico stuff and the fans chanting, and now we've got internal drama, and it's just like, can we find a couple stable months for Coop's rookie year at any point? That's kind of what I'm honestly foreseeing happen, because I really struggle to imagine a world where Kyrie's just like, yeah, I'm cool with sitting.
Yeah, I don't think you can tell him to sit out the whole season. I keep going back and forth because I'm like, well, just shut him down for the whole season and just tank this year and shut Anthony Davis down too. And then you can tank this year and then be back next year. Can you tell Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving to do that? They're 33, 32, and they're towards the end of their NBA careers. And you're like, hey, I don't have many years left in me. I want to play. I want to get out there and prove that I can still be viable for my, Anthony Davis is looking at an extension potentially next summer. Like that is a huge thing too. And so I think with both of these guys, you're asking the question, all right, well, should they play this year? Like I think they kind of have to. The Anthony Davis one is an interesting one that I talked about on the bonus yesterday. We're like, they have to play him if they want to prove that he can even be tradable. Like you can't just like sit him out and then be like, all right, well now we're going to trade you now, or we're going to trade you next year. Like they kind of have to play him at some point this year. And so I think for both of these guys, the Mavs are kind of stuck in this spot of like, all right, we've got to play both of them if they're going to be ready, which is wild.
Yeah, the AD one is so interesting. There's this whole saga here. It's very interesting with the, him having his own training staff, which is not outside the realm of normalty in the NBA. A lot of these guys have their own training staffs.
Yeah.
We can get into the whole like, well, Nico didn't let this guy and Nico didn't let Luka. Like, okay, like Nico's gone now, so it is what it is. But that's how I feel with a lot of this stuff now. It's like, okay, that guy's gone. So, but yeah, I mean, it's. I'm still kind of just a little, at least, attentive to what's happening with the AD stuff, because I do find that very interesting. But yeah, I mean, we'll see. I just can't imagine a world where they're just rattling off wins without these guys. And that's where it does get to the interesting part where they have to know behind the scenes, and anybody who comes in to be the new GM has to look at this situation from an outsider coming in's perspective, assuming it is an external hire, and be like, yeah, look, the best long-term thing for us might be to pair Coop alongside with one of these fantastic top-end lottery guys, and that requires losing games. And we've already done that, so we might as well just ensure that keeps happening. And yeah, I don't know what that looks like, but yeah, if the end goal is like, well, we want X amount of picks for AD, or we want this for AD, then yeah, you want him out there playing and playing well. So it's an interesting sort of conundrum they find themselves in.
It's like, both directions can be a choice. You can try and shut him down if you can. You can play him, and I could see a scenario where the Mavs play him and then they still don't win, because it didn't look good at the beginning of the season. Yeah. But what if they do play and they start playing well and start like making a run? Is that detrimental to the Mavs season? Because we talked about a couple of games ago, we were like, well, actually, the best case scenario for the Mavericks this year would be like Anthony Davis comes back, Kyrie comes back, they kind of go on a run. Cooper Flagg goes on, like takes this big step forward. They actually like make the play and make the playoffs potentially, because then it shows Anthony Davis's value. It proves viability. Like Cooper Flagg takes another leap forward. It may mess with your pick a lot. And your pick may drop from 7 to like 15, 16, right? I mean, that is a pretty big drop, but at least you've proven a lot of things about your team already.
Yeah. I still think that's probably preferable, but you're not confident that's going to happen.
No, I'm not. But I think
the worst thing they can do is to loiter around and then end up with like the 11th best odds, like kind of similar to last year. But last year was different because you had a good first couple months of the season.
I mean, the one time in franchise history they moved up, it was 1.8.
That's true, unless you're just really going to play the odds game. But
wait, hold on one second. Are we sure? Are we sure Nico's deal wasn't for 2 picks in the top 5 or top 3 or top 1?
Because he wanted to win this year.
I mean, he started without a point guard.
I mean, what's insane to me, man, is I've watched so many games across the league this year. This is the most basketball I've watched to start a season. And the Mavs are so bad. They aren't even a bottom 5 team, I don't think. That's how bad some of these teams look to start the season.
Yeah, they're not catching some of these teams either.
Right, that's it too. For the blow it up crowd, for like the team completely tank crowd. Like Indiana, Washington, and Brooklyn, these teams are not being competed with in terms of the toiletry. Like, they're just not. They are on their own. They are so bad.
They like have a toiletry duffel bag instead of like a toiletry travel bag that you travel with. No, they have a duffel bag that they carry that stuff in.
I think even if the Mavs were just like, all right, tomorrow Kyrie's not playing, and we just traded Anthony Davis for nothing in return, like we just traded him to the void for nothing.
Yeah.
I still don't even think you're competing with Indiana, Brooklyn, or Washington.
No, and so then what are you? Then you're just waffling between what, like 4 to 10 or whatever.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. Your odds.
And to be fair, some people say this is like a six prospect deep draft. Like there's the top 3 guys, but then there's another group.
Well, that's where Flagg would go, right? Flagg would go 6th.
Right.
Flagg would go 6 or 7.
Well, I heard 12th today.
Stop it. From who?
Yeah.
From a reputable draft person?
Jason, my neighbor.
Jason Concepcion is your name.
Yeah.
Coming up, I want to talk about D'Angelo Russell. What happened? What's happening with D'Angelo Russell? Because these are the games that the Mavs need a D'Angelo Russell to get going for them, to get some offense going or anything. And that whole experiment has been a disaster. We'll talk about that and more coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Rippling. Rippling, if you're a business owner, here's the truth. SaaS promised to make work easier, but now the average company is buried by hundreds of apps. You got all kinds of different things you have to keep track of, and it slows down your teams, and they simply don't work. That's SaaS. That's not SaaS. That's sad. Sorry, SaaS. I'm sorry. Rippling, I messed it up again. Software as a disservice, sad. That's why you need Rippling. Rippling is the unified platform for global HR, payroll, IT, and finance all in one place. You can do all this kind of stuff all with one app instead of having to go to all bunch of different ones that slow you down and do all that kind of stuff. They've helped millions of businesses replace a mess of disconnected tools with one system to give leaders clarity, speed, and control. The 3 things the Mavs offense did not have. Actually, they had speed, but it was speed in a bad way. And right now, you can get 6 months free when you go to rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. Learn more at rippling, rippling.com/LockedOnNBA. That's rippling.com/LockedOnNBA for 6 months free. Also brought to you by Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy made easy. You and I make decisions every single day. I decided to get on this show, slightly decided to get on this show after not watching the Mavs play tonight.
I watched until it was no longer watchable.
And I don't blame him. Don't miss any of the excitement with sports this season, whether it's a different game or the Cowboys or whatever you got going on. It's better time to jump in on the action. And you got to try Prize Picks. You can make a lineup in 60 seconds or less. To make your lineup, you can play anywhere Prize Picks operates, including Texas. So you can play this. All you have to do is go make a lineup. So right now, I'm just going to pick a random game, Lakers versus Utah and the exciting whites. We got Luka, 31.5 points. You can pick more or less. Let me go more on that one. Larry Markkinen, 25.5 points. Let me go more on that. Reeves, 23.5 points. Let me go more on that one. Boom. Oh, and LeBron has made comeback for this game, 17.5 points. Let me go less on that one. I don't know how much he's going to play in this one. So that finally is your lineup right there. Boom. If I win with that lineup, I put down $20. I can win $200. Prize Picks, and use this code LOCKEDONNBA to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's LOCKEDONNBA is the code at Prize Picks. It's good to be right.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
Thanks for hanging out with us on Locked On Mavs, being part of the show, part of the Raccoon Squad, listening every day. We appreciate each and every one of you for checking out the show and listening. Check the QR code, links in the description for different ways to follow the show. The Dallas Mavericks did play a basketball game tonight. They got destroyed by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Part of it is not surprising at all. The Mavs went in as a 14-point underdog, which we were like, wow, that's insane. But then also I started to look at some of the travel stuff the Mavs were doing. And the Mavs, it was the second night of a back-to-back. The Mavs had played four games in like 6 nights, basically like 7 nights, basically. Like just a wild schedule that the Mavs have had to play. A lot of those were at home, but still. 2 of those games were overtime games. One of them a double overtime game. You've got no Anthony Davis, Kyrie, Exum, Dereck Lively, Daniel Gafford, Ryan Nembhard. Like you're just missing so many guys in this game. And the Mavs go out there and they actually, I felt like they played hard in that first half. I felt like they competed. I felt like I was looking like, I was like, all right, this is not effective. Their offense is awful, but at least they're playing hard and they're trying. They're going out there. You've got guys that are like these tryhards, what I used to call like the sweaties, that go out there and just like put the work in and are going to dive for loose balls and do that stuff. You had Moussa Cisse in the starting lineup with Lively and Gafford out. You had PJ Washington doing some stuff early, driving right at Rudy Gobert a couple times, which I thought was huge. Seeing his confidence in his driving game, I think has gone up a ton this season, which is something that I think was great. But other than that, it was pretty wild. It was pretty awful. You had Cooper Flagg playing like these 4-minute stints in the first half where he literally played 4 minutes each time he went in, which I thought was strange. But I honestly think Kidd was just like saving him from this fatigue and the second night of a back-to-back deal. Yeah,
I was confused at the Cooper Flagg rotations until I thought the same thing. Like, this has to be a back-to-back type of, let's limit the amount of minutes he plays, especially since coming off of back-to-back overtime games, a lot of the minutes for these guys. Yeah, I agree. I mean, they didn't go out there and go through the motions and play terribly, but, without the bigs on this team doesn't have any strengths. Like, that's kind of where it's at. Yeah. Like, you don't have the ball handling. We already knew that. You're supposed to counterbalance that with like, okay, well, we've got all these bigs and we're just going to be ginormous. And now you've got to play small because you don't have any bigs. And it's just like, you're just not a great team. Like, there are just not a lot of avenues for you to win games there. How about that? And the turnover number was incredibly high. It was high for both teams. I mean, Mavs defensively played pretty well, I thought, again. It is hard, though, to consistently play. We talked about this early in the season. It's hard to consistently play good defense when you're not scoring at all. And you're just constantly having to get back and constantly turning the ball over and, long rebounds bouncing out. Like, that's a difficult to ask for your defense. And yeah, I mean, it's just, they weren't supposed to win tonight. And wouldn't you know it, they didn't even come close. So Vegas I was like, man, 14 points is crazy. But Vegas was right this time around. The Thunder were a 14-point or like a 15-point favorite against the Pelicans. Yeah, and they won by Vegas is pretty good at this stuff. They won by I don't know.
Do the math. I can 15. See this.
They won by 15. There you go.
I think it may have gotten to 17 by the end of that one, but the Pelicans covered losing by 15.
There you go.
D'Angelo Russell, though, I do want to talk about because this is a game where you're like, all right, go ahead. Like, go do your thing, man. Like, go out there and against your former team, go out there, score some buckets, do it. And he bogged down the offense, shot 4 of 11, missed all 5 of his threes, missed all of his threes again, had 4 turnovers and only scored 8 points. He only played 22 minutes, but still, he's had like 2 games where you go, all right, there you go. That's like a good D'Angelo Russell game. And still in those games, it was like a mixed bag of decision-making and things by the end. And this whole thing, I think, has gone worse than anybody could have expected. I mean, Isaac was very high on this move. I was high on this move, at least as somebody that could come in and just play some minutes. He's obviously not playing with the full complement team that we expected. And the Mavs' offensive infrastructure has been a lot more disjointed and combobulated than we had expected. But I think this is kind of worse than everybody really thought.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll kind of defend him here in a second, but he is 3 for his last 30 from 3.
3 for 30.
3 for his last 30. So when you're shooting that dreadfully, everything else gets amplified, right? Yeah. And this kind of goes beyond like the typical D'Lo where you're just like, what shot was that? Like, what are we doing shooting that one there? Yeah. Like he's also missing his open catch and shoot threes. So it is making matters much worse. And yeah, it's been, I understood the flaws and the potential, like, hey, you know what, you know that there's going to be some turnovers and some questionable shots and some questionable defense. Like, that's all good. I thought that whatever he brought to the table offensively and positively is like exactly what this team needed. But for him, it's like, who is he going to run pick and rolls with right now? You know? True. That's part of it. He got in here to play a 2-man game with AD, and AD's played what, 2 games? I don't even know how many games AD's played. I feel like I haven't
3.
I feel like I haven't seen him in months. But yeah, and Lively's been in and out.
You didn't see him on the bench last night wearing the Packers jersey?
Dude, I had to watch. I bite my tongue on a tweet I was gonna send where I'm just like, dude, who cares? Who cares?
If it was a Parsons jersey, maybe that would get like some kind of response from me. But no, could not care less.
I mean, dude, can we, like, I know everyone hates the trade and everyone's frustrated he's out, but man, can we at least like tone it down a tiny bit with this guy. Like, I feel for him on a human level, seriously, because it's just like, hey man, I'm a Packers fan, like it's NFL Sunday game day, and everyone's like, this clown, I cannot believe it. It's just like, whoa, like, it's okay. There's not even a rivalry there, man. The Packers beat their ass every single time they play. That's not a rivalry. It has extended into multiple quarterbacks.
It is kind of like ironically hilarious that he is a Packers fan and came from the Lakers in the Luka trade, where like the Packers, the Michael Parsons trade, and all that.
I'm sure there's an explanation for his Packer fandom. I don't know, because he's from Chicago.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
But no, the D'Lo stuff.
I'm sure that story has been shared a bunch, and he actually did share that story during media day. I just forget what it was because I did not care about it. Sorry, Anthony Davis.
No, I mean, I don't care what I know. Sometimes it's annoying when Jalen Brunson would walk into a game with an Eagles jersey on, but it's part of the fun. That one
is crazier to me.
Yeah, that one is crazier,
right? Like that's an actual rivalry. That's actual hatred. There's actually stuff there. Like I didn't grow up a Cowboys fan, but I've lived here long enough to know that there is hatred towards the Eagles and there is just like contempt towards the towards the Packers. You know,
that's really it. The Packers is more like self-reflection. Like, you have to come to the grips with the fact that this franchise is terrible, and that's what the Packers show you. So it's more of like a, anyway, back to D'Angelo Russell. There was a possession with around 3 minutes left in the second quarter where D'Lo dribbles the ball for 21 seconds around the perimeter. That doesn't create an advantage or anything, and then hands the ball off to Naji Marshall and it goes nowhere. I'm just like, literally, it's like if you play 2K, there's a couple years ago where one of the strategies was just run left to right, and then eventually like the game would kind of force you open. Like, that's what he did along the perimeter, but then nothing came of it, and Naji had to shoot a grenade three, basically. Like, those are the possessions where it's like, man, we've got nothing going for us. Can we get into something, please?
Yeah. Coming up,
please.
Moussa Cisse gets the start. Has his activity and his play made you feel a little bit better about potential Daniel Gafford trade? A little bit. I'll tell you why. Coming up. Today's episode of Locked On Mavs brought to you by Robinhood. Your ambition just met its match. With Robinhood, you play for the win, not just on game day, every day, locking in on every opening, beating your PR, beating it again. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control of your money. Trade stocks and ETFs, options, futures, and crypto all on one platform. You can now build and execute your own trades from a desktop with Robinhood Legend Advanced tools. Or take advantage of the new Robinhood strategies with a tailored portfolio managed by a team of experts. You expect more from yourself, so expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move. Also brought to you by Rugiet. Let's be real. Making excuses doesn't solve anything. We've heard them all before. It's just stress. I'm tired. It's the second night of a back-to-back. We just traveled. All that happens to everyone sometimes. When it comes to performance, sometimes your body needs just a little extra support. That's where Rugiet comes in. Rugiet.com offers fast-acting, doctor-prescribed treatments for ED designed to help you stop making excuses and start making moves. The process is fast, simple, and private. It's all handled by real doctors, which is key. You don't want, not real doctors. It's all about confidence, connection, and getting back to the moments that matter. Visit Rugiet, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA. You get 15% off your first order. You have to use this code Rugiet.com/LockedOnNBA, RUGIET.com/LockedOnNBA. Don't forget to use that code LockedOnNBA. Rugiet, stop making excuses and start making moves.
Shut it down! Let's go home!
All these changes, and I still got my dog Dwight Powell. I still got
All right, Slightly. We talk about the Mavs loss to the Timberwolves. We talk about D'Angelo Russell. Moussa Cisse got the start and had some good activity. Had a great dive on a loose ball steal where he scored after he got an offensive rebound. Had 10 rebounds, 5 points. Only played 25 minutes. Did have 4 fouls. He's dealing with some foul issues here and there. You hear me? You got me? Yeah. And but Moussa Cisse, I think, has looked really good for a two-way player, better than I had expected him to play. He's been playing these spot minutes. He shows really good activity. I think he's been really good. He's a kind of a switchable big because he's pretty mobile. And the Mavs have this Daniel Gafford contract that is still tradable. Mark Stein reported the other day that Daniel Gafford is looked at as the most tradable player on the Mavericks right now because of that very thing. They obviously still have Anthony Davis, still have Dereck Lively, and obviously
all these changes, and I still got my dog Dwight Powell.
He's still on the roster.
Untouchable.
does Moussa Cisse's play make you feel any better about a potential Gafford trade? Or are you looking at the injuries to Lively and AD and be like, you know what? Still can't do it.
Oh, man. I really appreciate what I've seen from Moussa, but like, as Moussa, do I look at Moussa and I'm like, if this roster still wants to be competitive, is he playing well enough where it's like, yeah, we can trade one of our bigs because we got Moussa? I'm not entirely sure. He's got the best on-off numbers on the team. Okay. He brings a ton of energy, and I do agree he's switchable and stuff. My only concern with like slotting Moussa into a regular, this guy's going to get 15, 20 minutes a game is he's 6'10", and I just don't think he's necessarily a great rebounder, no defensive rebounder. Like I don't know if you can build a team that's going to consistently get stops and then grab boards with Moussa, but also at the same time, I do love the energy he brings. And if the Mavs were just like, yeah, we don't really care the direction the season heads, honestly, like we're cool with losing games. Yeah, I think he's perfectly fine to come in after a trade and soak up some minutes and get some run. I think he's definitely played well enough to warrant that, I would say.
That's right. It's all about the direction. But by the way, Gafford is not that great of a defensive rebounder either.
No, yeah, you're right.
So it depends on the direction, depends on the injuries. Lively has come back now, but he was out because of the second night of a back-to-back. Gafford missed this game because second night of a back-to-back and dealing with that ankle as well. And I just think Cisse's play has been very good. Surprising to me. I expected to see Ryan Nembhard and Miles Kelly were the two-way guys for the whole summer. And we were like, okay, those are the two guys. Ryan Nembhard was the name we kept talking about over and over again. As all right, he's going to actually get some time. And he's out now with a knee sprain because that he got working out. And so he wasn't playing before that, which I'm actually very surprised by that he hasn't gotten like much run at all because the offense has been so bad. You think they like Jason Kidd would empty the clip and try something. Let's keep trying. And then Miles Kelly's not played at all. He got in tonight with 9 minutes left, which was all garbage time for the Mavs essentially. And Moussa's been the one that was the last one to make the roster basically, and has surprised me the most.
Man, that is really interesting that I kind of agree with you. I'm surprised they haven't gone back to the Nembhard. Well,
just to try it.
Yeah, that makes me wonder some things. But, I mean, do we know how he's playing in with the Legends?
Well, he's out right now, but
yeah, man. Yeah, I like Moussa quite a bit. The other thing I worry about him with a lot of minutes is like, he just strikes me as one of these guys who's just, if he's playing, by the way, 5 minutes tonight, 4 fouls. If he's playing a good amount of minutes,
25 minutes, yeah.
Oh, the ESPN moved their thing again. Okay, I was about to say,
it's like he started. He played more than 5 minutes to start.
Well, I was looking at his other stats. I was like 10 rebounds at a -20. I was like, gee, that's a lot going on. And there's a lot going on in 5 minutes. But yeah, I just worry that he's going to be like a guy who fouls a good amount. But yeah, I've liked his energy, and for sure, if the direction the Mavs take is we're going to get some value from Gafford and Moussa, you need to be ready if your number's called to get the spot start here or there. Yeah, sure. Can't believe these are the conversations we're having, man.
Yeah, why haven't they tried the two-way guy at point yet, right? Like, that's the kind of conversation we're having right now, which is this season has just been so weird, so backwards, and so opposite of what you'd think we'd be talking about at this point.
It's also why during the offseason, I was like, I don't care about this stat that they brought back 13 guys. Like, they have no continuity as a team.
No.
They have none. These guys have never played together in any real significant way. And this remains the case.
Think about the guys that played tonight, like Brandon Williams, Max Christie, PJ. Obviously, Flagg is new. Cisse is new. Naji, Dwight Powell.
Yeah.
Russell is new. Like these guys just did not play that much together.
I know.
The Caleb Martin situation has been equally, if not maybe the worst thing on the roster, because they traded Quentin Grimes for him. I didn't like the deal at the time because I don't think you get rid of a guy like Quentin Grimes. So I think that talent was just one that you just, all right, I'd rather roll the dice on that than just have a contract. And now they have this contract, and now this contract is like not good. Like it's not a good value. He can't play. mean, he does not look good at all. I'm not gonna lie. I saw him warming up yesterday. I watched him shoot like 10 of 20 from 3. With nobody guarding him.
50%. We'll take that.
No, like Dwight Powell doesn't miss. Doesn't miss take a shot.
When you watch the warm-ups, you realize these NBA guys do not ever miss, really.
They're just different. It's insane. His confidence is obviously not there. He doesn't have any role. Jason Kidd keeps throwing him out in these first quarters. And I don't really know what the strategy is there, just to see like if he has anything. But this has been another thing where like, all right, now he's on the roster for the next couple of years. They have this contract, and the Mavs decided, all right, we're going to lose Grimes for nothing, so we might as well get somebody that can play in this rotation. And I've been up and down on Caleb Martin if he could play. There have been times when I'm like, all right, his defense actually looked pretty good. The Mavs could use him, but man, I look at it now. He's $9.5 million this year, $10 million the next year, and $9.3 million player option the year after that. He's picking that up because he's not getting that anywhere else.
Well, tonight he did tie a season high in field goals made with 2. And it was the first time since October 29th that he's made more than 1. Between November 1st and November 16th, he made 1 total field goal. Yeah, this is one that I have to admit that I was very wrong on, because I say I at least understood the logic kind of the trade. Not that I thought it was like a great deal. Not that I thought Quentin Grimes or Caleb Martin was better than Quentin Grimes. I didn't, but I at least kind of understood we don't want to do restricted free agency. We're not going to be able to bring this guy back. Let's at least get a contract that we can maybe use in trades or whatever the case may be. But yeah, man, he's just offensively, he's got to be one of the worst big minute rotation, or not necessarily big minute rotation, but like legit rotation guys in the league. He has to be one of the worst offensive guys in the NBA. I mean, it is dire. And the 3 ball, he's barely shooting them this year. He's only taken 6, but or at least before tonight. I don't know if he took one tonight at any point.
Should I say what my Caleb Martin 3-point shot thing is?
What?
That I sent in our group chat. Caleb Martin's 3-point shot looks like it surprises him every time he takes a shot. It's like, oh wait, I'm taking a 3.
Man, I don't.
He just leaves his hands. He leaves his hands in your, and it's like, and I feel like his form changes every time he takes a 3.
I'm so interested what happened there,
because that was the thing that I thought. All right, he'll at least come in and be like a 3-and-D guy, and his defense did look good last year, and his defense at times this year has been okay. The confidence is obviously just like not there at all. But the 3-point shot has just been so wild.
Yeah, it is so flat. I mean, it is genuinely a line drive. It is just like, you're not going to get a single friendly bounce on anything like that. No. You've got like one sliver of a spot where that shot needs to go. And it is, it doesn't seem fixable really to me. I don't know. It's crazy. This guy probably should have won Eastern Conference Finals MVP 2 years ago.
Man, that is,
what was that? 3 years ago? Like he should have won it.
Like, and those games,
he carried him.
Just
like, I think that's one of the big misconceptions is like Jimmy hurt his ankle in that playoff run and then like was not that great in the Boston series after he hurt his ankle. And Caleb Martin was legitimately awesome.
So this is the Boston series for Miami against Boston. This is in 2023, 2 years ago, less than 2 years ago. 15 points, 3 threes made, 25 points, 3 threes made, 18 points, 4 threes made, 16 points, 2 threes made, 14 points, 2 threes made, 21 points, 4 threes made, 26 points, 4 threes made. Like
in a game 7, 26 points.
In a game 26 points, 10 boards, 3 assists, no fouls, 1 turnover. Like the confidence from a player there to a player where he is now. I mean, that is just such a drop. The injuries there's injuries between then that may have affected it, but
it's definitely an injury related thing. Mostly, I would say it's different when it's like a guy like Omax or like Jared Vanderbilt, where it's like this guy's never been good offensively, so you're just always projecting maybe a leap forward or something. But Caleb Martin is just like, dude, he's in that category with a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, where it's just like this guy cannot do a thing on offense. It's just, it's tough. I don't understand it. Because at the moment you're not a scoring threat in the slightest.
Yeah, in any way.
Your playmaking, all of that pretty much goes away. Because I do think there's a world where it's like, if he somewhat puts pressure on the defense, it's like, he's a good playmaker. Like, he's a smart player. But that's all out the window if your team doesn't care about you shooting threes, if a team's not even worried about you even looking to score.
We see him take these real quick like drives, like back and like the side to side drives, like that you're talking about, where it's like he's literally just going back and forth. He's trying to like get open in some way. Yeah, I think those three, the D'Angelo Russell, the Caleb Martin, like those two have been that's been some pretty bad turns for the Mavericks that could have gone one way, and like that. D'Angelo Russell seemed logical. It could have worked. Caleb Martin seemed like he could have fit a need for the Mavericks, and it just hasn't worked at all. Those have been really brutal for the Mavs this season, I think, too. Adding on to everything else that we've already talked about, like that has been bad in every way. Go check out Slightly Biased, great YouTube channel. Isaac will have an episode a little bit later today on this feed where he talks about the Mavs should keep Kyrie Irving and not trade him. So he talks all about that. So go check out that. Guys, thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs. I'll be back with Locked on NBA a little bit later today. Thanks so much for listening to Locked on Mavs. Peace out. Boom.
We'll get through this.